Is this issue losing steam, or is it just not going in the direction maybe the president would like it?
Well, I actually think the issue is gaining steam. I think one of the things we've seen in the last several weeks is the president kind of getting this issue re-energized, and we're very delighted that Congress is now full in force in hearings, and I absolutely think it is, if anything, gaining steam.
It seems, though, that Barney Frank has joined with Representative McMahon and a group of industry lobbyists to try and offer some more watered-down legislation. Is that a concern? I mean, someone in your own party who wants to take a little bit of the bite out of what you're trying to get through?
You know, I think Representative Frank and we have exactly the same goal. We want to make sure that consumers are protected. We want to make sure that those community banks that have been treating their customers well right along don't face an extra regulatory burden. So I think we're all on the same team, and we're trying to come up with the best plan. And what we've said on so many issues, we look forward to working with Congress. They have ideas. We have ideas. We're confident we'll end up with something good.
I wonder what your ideas are as far as boosting the labor market in this country. A lot of forecasts continue to grow as far as where the unemployment number ends, where it peaks out. And the president himself a couple of weeks ago saying that he would try any new and additional measures to help produce more jobs. What kind of new and additional measures are you considering?
Well, you know, the president absolutely has been very clear that from the beginning, this is not just something from the last week or two, right? He has said from the beginning he's not going to be happy until people are put back to work. And so we have from the beginning been thinking about all the things we could do. That's why we did the Recovery Act, the financial stabilization. But we've always been open to, do we need to tweak it? Do we need to think about things? Do we need to rearrange things? And absolutely, we're thinking about a whole range of things.
You know, there was a fantastic profile of Larry Summers in the New Yorker. I'm sure you saw that. And in it, they talk about your effort to push through a bigger stimulus bill to begin with. We ended up with $787 billion. The story says because that was the most that was really politically palatable. Would you like to see, though, more money going out towards that effort?
You know, what I want to see is exactly what you and the president want to see, which is getting people back to work. And certainly, you know, we were thinking about a range of things. You know, my job's always been to run the numbers and give a sense of what various policies would do. You know, we are going to be thinking about how do we get this unemployment rate, which is now we're fearing headed still up for a while more. That's a concern, and we want to make sure it starts to come down as fast as possible.
Let me ask you about the dollar. We had Larry Summers talking here yesterday at a foreign exchange panel. A lot of people, the Wall Street Journal front cover today, saying, you know, the U.S. sort of stands by and watches the dollar slide down. Everybody defers to Treasury. And then Tim Geithner says, sort of touting the party line, we support a strong dollar policy. But it's fallen 12% since the president's come into office. Is there any impetus in the White House to try and do something to turn the course of the dollar around?
You surely have to know that the right thing for me to say is that the dollar is the purview of the Treasury, and obviously what Secretary Geithner said, which is a strong dollar is in the interest of the United States, and I'm going to let him say anything more to be said about it, but that is absolutely what we all believe. That's what the president has reiterated, and that's certainly what Secretary Geithner said.
Well, I've got to try, Christina. I've got to just ask the question. Listen, let me quickly ask you, only about 20 seconds left. What about lending, the state of lending? There's a lot of concern that small businesses aren't able to get enough loans. Banks are hoarding cash. Is there anything you can do to ease the banking system a little?
Well, you know, I mean, that is, again, another question the president asks us just about every morning. And, you know, I keep going back to last spring, and one of, I think, the best developments that happened following the stress test was that raising of private capital, because I think that did give banks a cushion, made them feel like lending. You know, what we really want to see is more of that kind of action, more making banks feeling strong, able to be lending, and because that's what they need to be doing.
All right, Christina Romer, thank you so much for joining us. Christina Romer coming to us from the White House.